Hello, I'm Ana P. Santos, Rappler columnist. Welcome to Balikbayan, Rappler's effort to engage Filipinos living abroad by sharing stories of their trials and triumphs while away from home. According to studies from Queen's University and the University of Utah, featuring hundreds of couples in both regular and long-distance relationships, there is little difference in well-being between the two kinds of couples. The study suggests that it isn't the length of the distance that matters, but the strength of the couple's love for each other. So, since it's February, the month of love, today's topic will be all about how to keep long-distance relationships alive. To join us in our conversation today, use the hashtag #LoveFromAfar on Twitter. Send us your questions. Many of our viewers may think it's impossible, but we have two long-distance couples with us today who will share with us their secrets to keeping their relationship strong despite the distance between them. We actually have our guys joining us from overseas. Our first couple is Paul Rojas and Mitch Dumbrique. Paul is a field engineer based in Ventura, California, but he's joining us from Hawaii today. Hi, Paul.
Hi, how's it going?
And Mitch is a change engagement manager here at Deutsche Bank Philippines. The two of them met on on Facebook and have been together since October 2013. How's that for a tech-savvy, very modern couple? Our second couple is Gian Gonzalez, who is right now joining us from Memphis, Tennessee, and it's freezing. Thanks, Gian, for joining us.
Hi.
Gian is taking his master's in cello performance at the University of Memphis in Tennessee, and Lara is here in our studio. She's a classically trained singer and songwriter, currently studying voice at the University of the Philippines.
Hi.
Hi, Lara. You guys have been together since May 2013.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, girls, and thank you, gentlemen, for joining us. There's a distance and a time difference. All right. Start off first with Paul and Mitch. You guys met each other on Facebook. Can you tell us about that? How did that happen?
Yeah. Paul,
Well,
maybe.
go ahead, Mitch.
I think Paul, did you press a poke button?
No, it wasn't something like that. I was just kind of browsing online one day and looking at profiles of some friends of friends, and then I kind of saw her profile and I clicked on it. And I found her really interesting. I was just looking at some of her pictures, and the things that she did really resonated with me because she's really into the outdoors and traveling to like off the beaten path places. So I kind of do the same, and I really was attracted to that. So I just clicked add and sent her a message. I just said like, hey, this is why I added you, and hope you'll accept my friend request. So yeah.
So you didn't know Mitch before that? No,
Yeah.
okay. And how did you find her on Facebook then? You were searching common interests, yes? Is that
Yes, yes. And we had one common friend who I wasn't really that close with, just kababayan ko, or somebody from my home province.
Okay.
So Mitch was a complete stranger to me, but you know, like I said, the things that she did, the things that I saw in her pictures, it really resonated with me, and so I think naghintay ako ng isang araw. Like the next day, I went back and looked for her profile again, and then I added her.
But way to go, Paul. He didn't wait for someone to introduce you to him. He didn't touch base with his mutual friend. Can you introduce me to Mitch? No,
Yeah,
he went off and introduced himself to you. Wait, Mitch, what was your profile picture? Was it you in Nepal or?
Probably was. Yeah. Is that the one? Paul, I can't remember.
I can't remember either.
But tell us, I mean, how did you feel when you got that message from Paul?
Well, when I got that message, it's quite lengthy.
Wow.
I was like, okay, this guy is really introducing himself.
I think that's important to note as well. It was a lengthy message. Yeah.
But I kind of appreciate it because normally guys nowadays, they just add you randomly. And then, you know, they have this one-liner saying, hi, you know, I'm whatever, can we be friends? Or, you know, you kind of look for that substance.
Yes.
With that person, and it kind of really attracted me. No, well, not really attracted me, but it's more of he went really to engage with me because he knew that I'm into outdoors, and so it kind of got me there.
All right. So good to note for those of you watching, when you want to meet someone on Facebook, write a longer message. Go beyond hi. Your profile picture is nice. Lara, you and Ian, tell us how you guys met. I understand you were both in the Philippines.
We were both in the Philippines. It was last year. and on a new moon.
On a new moon?
New moon. It's not even a full moon, but a new moon. Someone sent me flowers, like a box of roses with 3 roses there, and it was last March, I think.
Okay.
Early March, and then it had a letter saying, "It's funny, I don't know you, you don't know me." But can I send you flowers? I hope you accept my flowers every new moon. So every new moon, I would accept 3 roses. And then we were introduced after a few months. I didn't know it was him.
Okay.
And we were introduced, and then we started dating. Our dates would go from lunch to dinner, and then but we both knew that he was leaving for Memphis because he got a scholarship.
Okay.
So, and then May, he was like, he brought me to Tagaytay and then held my hand and told me, "You asked me about the flowers before," because I was kidding. Like,
right.
Maybe it's you. And then he got my hand and said, "It's me." So ever since then until now, he's been sending roses every new moon.
All right. Yeah. There's a lot of pressure for the guys. Yeah, and first of all, you started sending Lara flowers. Tell us what prompted you to do that. I mean, I'm sure was her singing. Was it her singing?
Yeah, of course, it was her singing, and she's very beautiful, and
yeah, we can see.
She's really very nice. I've actually seen her in my past gigs, but then she didn't know me yet. But then I got so inspired that I just had to give her flowers.
I think we should give the viewers a little bit of context just in case. You were telling me before we went live, Lara and Gian, that Gian, you were in the orchestra playing during one of Lara's performances. Is that how you first, quote unquote, met her?
Yeah, actually, there was another gig.
It's
like a car show.
Like a few weeks ago.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can you tell us about
I just saw her, but then I didn't know that I would see her again in the same gig.
Okay.
With the orchestra that I was in before.
Okay. But why flowers first and not introducing yourself right away?
Well, because my friend wanted to introduce me actually, but then it didn't really happen. It was supposed to happen. He tried 3 times, but it just didn't happen. Yeah.
So you had to find your own way.
Yeah.
Way to go. And I have to tell you, Lara said the same thing. We just had to try this relationship. We just had to make it work. And you were saying the same thing. I just had to meet her. So we should add a hashtag maybe had to.
Had to.
Okay. I'm going to go back to Mitch and Paul. You met on Facebook, and then take us back to when you actually first met. Do we say IRL in real life?
Okay. Well, we started talking some more. I added her back in maybe February, late or early February, but then we didn't really start talking until around July. And then, at first it was just like one message a week or something, and there wasn't really anything. It was just friendly. Yeah. But then it started getting a little more personal after a while and more frequent, until we became a little more in friends. And then so one day I just messaged her and I was like, "Hey, can I ask for your phone number so that I can give you a call?" And then from there she said yes, and so I gave her a call and we ended up talking for probably almost an hour. And it was wonderful.
Very casual. We were just
talking
to each other. It was something special because you don't really get to talk to someone on the phone, complete stranger,
right.
And then you get to connect with that person.
Right. The way you guys talk about it seems like it just came really naturally to both of you.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Yeah. And then from there I asked if she wanted to talk on Skype, just see each other. And it kind of went on from there, and before we knew it, we were talking every single day since, September or something? Yeah, and we would talk for hours on end, and it's just like time would just fly by, and I wouldn't even notice it. Yeah, it was just really, it was really nice.
Because we were like talking for 7 hours at some point.
7
Straight,
hours.
yeah. 7 hours. I'm like, just talk about simple day-to-day things, experiences.
Okay, but at this time you were already a couple, the two of you.
Not even.
Not
yeah.
even. Okay.
Not even.
No.
So.
Let's go to that point before we go into the considerations of a long-distance relationship. You want to back to when you guys actually decided to become a... Oh, wait, we haven't gotten to the point where you guys met yet.
Oh, well, we actually...
All the time.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it was in October, and I already had plans to go to the Philippines beforehand. I already had my plane ticket and everything. And I asked Mitch if she wanted to meet up for coffee when I go to the Philippines, and she said yes, and she said maybe we can have a bottle of wine or something. And it just turns out that we were all into a lot of common things, like we're all into outdoors, we're all into wine, coffee, and a lot of the same things. So I guess at that time I was a little bit in denial that I was developing feelings for her, because I wasn't interested in being in a relationship, and I really didn't want to be in a long-distance relationship.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed just having my own time and being, I guess what you'd say, free. I didn't want a girlfriend or anything.
Right.
But then I couldn't deny that I was feeling something for her, so I told her in October that, hey, I think I'm really falling for you. And I admitted what I was feeling for her, and so we kind of officially became a couple then, even before we had met. And then we actually met just this past December when I went home to the Philippines.
And Mitch, that was December, right?
Yeah.
But you guys became a couple overseas. And how did you overcome your feeling, Paul? You were saying that you didn't want to be in a long distance relationship, and understandably so.
Yeah.
There's there's time difference apart from the actual distance. What made you get over those hesitations?
Well, it was just that I had to admit to myself that I had feelings for Mitch, and just stop kidding myself. And I always told myself that, what, I'm not going to look for a girlfriend, but if somebody comes along, then so be it. And it just happened that Mitch came along, so I just let it be and let my feelings go with it.
Yeah.
Okay. And you, Mitch, did you have any apprehensions about being in a long-distance relationship?
I had a long-distance relationship before, so I kind of knew what the traps are, or what are the expectations of being in a long-distance relationship. But the thing is, the feelings were just so strong. I guess it's because we established that connection, that really strong connection beforehand, that you would just go with the flow and just make it work. Having those experiences in the past, you could just bring that into your present relationship and just try not to make the same mistakes again.
There were some lessons from the past LDR.
Yeah.
Can you talk about what was the main lesson that you learned, not to repeat for other people out there also who are in LDRs?
Yeah, I guess it's more of open and honest communication.
Yeah.
You just really have to get rid of that filter as well. No inhibitions. Just have to really tell that person and appreciate or show them how much you appreciate them. Because oftentimes, if you're in a long distance relationship, it's really easy to neglect if you get busy with your day-to-day stuff.
Right.
So
it's the same. It's probably the same rule as well. If you're in a relationship and the two of you are in the same country.
Exactly.
Okay. Lara and Gian, you stopped where you knew Gian was going away, right, for a scholarship in Memphis. And what made you two decide to stay together and do this? Had to. Hashtag
had to. We kind of knew the day I knew he was the one who was sending roses. I was very relieved actually, because I'm developing feelings for this guy, and then someone is still sending flowers in my house.
Thank God it was the same person.
I know. And we just had to. We felt it was the right thing to do. And with all these apps now available free online, we can make this work. We just knew that we can make this work.
Okay, Gian?
Well, I was actually, before I sent those flowers, I was talking to my friend, and I was actually planning to send her every new moon for the whole 2 years that I was here.
Without me knowing.
Yeah, without her knowing. So I was really happy when we became a couple because I really like I really love her.
But were any of you discouraged by friends, family, or other people who have been PRs that didn't?
Yeah. Actually, one of the friends that she was very scared because she wanted us to be together. Kami na talaga. So she was telling me that what if something goes wrong, then it's over.
It's gonna be hard. Yeah.
Yeah.
But
So she wanted me to make a move when I get back after the 2 years.
But this was, and just to be clear, it's not Lara, it's your friend, right?
it's his friend that
Yeah.
was scared. I was scared for us. That's funny, actually.
Your friends, was scared for you guys. Okay, and how did you get over that?
Well, actually, there are other friends actually who were saying, mabilis lang yan. 2 years is really quick. And if you just have to make it work. I mean, you just have to make sure you'll be honest with each other. Like what Mitch said, you just have to be honest. And we are really transparent because all these apps are making us,
transparent.
very, very transparent. It's like I would know what he went through today because he would send me videos of where he was, where he ate, what he even ate.
So for those viewers out there, Lara and Gian have a couple of apps used between the two of them, which one is it?
Tango and
Couple?
Tango first, and then we
moved to couple.
to couple.
Okay.
So
and tell us how that works. And how, I was quite fascinated. It's almost like you're here, Gian.
A couple allows you to send audio messages, video messages, and then drawings even. And
Thumb kiss.
so when I wake up in the thumb kiss, there's actually a thumb kiss in couple.
Thumb kiss?
So you, as long as
Mitch and I are taking notes. Okay.
Yeah, I know. As long as
And
the
Paul, too.
as long as your partner's online, you just place your thumb on the screen, and they're both iPhone users. So and then you find his thumb, and then it'll turn red if you're
touching. Is that right?
That's your love language.
That may be my love language.
That's
Touch.
so cool. Okay,
Yeah.
now you can do a virtual touch through couple.
Yes.
Okay, just to be clear, also couple is one-on-one, so you can't. Is that right?
Yeah.
You can't download couple and enroll
multiple.
2 people that you're sending some kisses to. Right? Couple promotes monogamy.
Yes, definitely. Yes.
It's not going to activate if you don't have anyone.
And it's also not going to activate if you don't have anyone on the other side. Okay. Good point. Good point, Gian. So, Mitch and Paul, you guys have also your own way of keeping in touch and being very much present in each other's lives.
Yeah.
Oh, you talked about Skype and all of that.
And Viber.
Sufficient.
I mean, it gets us through the day. So in the morning, when I get up, he's gonna make a call through Skype, and then we're gonna Skype for an hour maybe, and then during work, he's gonna call again, and I'm gonna go to one of the quiet rooms. I hope that my managers and Deutsche doesn't know this are not watching right now. But you kind of squeeze in, some time here and there, between your breaks, and then just ask how your day has been, or what has got you through the day.
What I'm getting from the four of you is that it's almost like you're not apart, or because you're so much still a part of each other's lives. You know what's happening. There are ways to make your presence felt. But let's talk a little bit about the difficulties also of being in a long distance relationship. Who wants to start? Paul, do you want to start about some of the difficulties?
Well, of course you want to see them in person, and it's just different. There's something that the physical presence just brings that you can't get out of Skype or Viber or Facebook messages. I'll look at her pictures or whatever, but it's not the same thing as having her there. And mind you, we only actually met for 3 weeks in December, but it feels like I've known her for years, really. And that's sufficient for me. I just hold on to that memory, but yeah, there's just that longing to have them there and be able to spend time with them, and yeah.
Yeah.
You're getting emotional.
No, I'm not.
No.
No, I'm not. Maybe you are.
Mitch, what are some of the difficulties of being in a long-distance relationship for you?
I think, yeah, it's the same. I just long for that touch. I guess that's my second love language.
Right.
And, just being able to embrace that person or hug that person, after a long day's work is kind of, something that's really...
Yeah, so one of the difficulties in LDR, they call it, it's what I really hate. It's when you have bad internet connection.
Oh,
that really sucks. And I think Gian can really say second to that.
Maybe the snow doesn't help. But when you have a bad internet connection and you can't talk, right?
It's actually on my part. Yeah.
But how do you get over it? I mean, every couple goes through trust issues, miscommunication.
Yeah.
Let's talk about miscommunication first. I mean, wow, a bad internet connection.
Oh, yeah.
Does that contribute sometimes to miscommunication or lack thereof?
Yes.
Okay.
So I talked about having couple as our app also, right?
Right.
Or Skype. And if it's couple and he wakes up in the morning, he doesn't get any videos, that's kind of like, what happened? But did you forget me? Maybe that's how I would feel if I didn't get any messages.
Yeah.
And if it's in Skype and the connection is really bad, I mean, you can't really see each other face to face, but this is the only way to see each other, and it's really malabo. So how can you, that's really frustrating.
Or there's a lag.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Audio
Or if it's
video thing.
pixelated,
Yeah,
it's like
pixelated,
a watercolor painting or something.
Oh, yes.
Ian, you wanted to add something about difficulties in being in a long distance relationship?
Well, for me, it's because I just can't take care of her personally. Because I love to cook for her. I love to take care of her when she's sick, and I can't do that when I'm here. So I think that's the hardest part for me, is not to be able to take care of her physically.
So the flowers every new moon.
Yeah, that uplifts my soul.
Are the kind of substitute for that in the meantime. Okay. What about trust issues? Okay, there's a Does that mean they're not? I mean, you guys talk a lot. I'm not even sure if you talk a lot more than the couples who are actually together. One of the studies, or one of the findings in the study that we earlier cited, was that couples who live apart, quote unquote, compensate for the absence of the other by talking and having meaningful conversation, whereas proximity is kind of taken for granted by those couples who live in the same city or are together. So can you comment about, are trust issues easier to come by, or because of the talking, or Lara?
Well, maybe it's really hard to be apart.
Yeah.
So, and words can only heal whatever is not there, or but it's really words of affirmation, I think.
Okay.
That would really help you guys to trust each other more, and you just have to let them know and make them feel through your words, because that's the only thing that you can do, that you can trust me.
Okay.
And sometimes it's not enough when you say it once.
Okay.
It helps when you're going somewhere that he doesn't know the people there. I mean, I would feel the same way if I was in his place. So the words of affirmation, like, you can trust me, or you can send a video.
Yeah, Mitch?
I think in any relationship, you should really have trust for each other. Because if you don't, especially in a long distance relationship, then it's definitely not going to work. You know that's one of the I guess one of the things that you really have in the first place before you get into a long distance relationship. Because otherwise, every conversation that you will have will always be like, so what did you do today? It's like, it just feel like you're being questioned.
Right.
So, again, as Lara mentioned, you just have to make that person really secure by your words or sending, videos or, this is where I've been to. So you send pictures, you share that over Facebook. Especially with Facebook, you can actually send photos already. So wherever you are, just send it literally.
And for the boys, the girls and I were talking before we patched you up, and we were saying that it helps that there's a lot of common interests between you and Paul and Mitch. There's the outdoors, Gian and Lara, it's music. There's a lot of common interests and a lot of things to talk about and really share.
Yeah.
What about petty quarrels, though? Let's talk a little bit about that. I mean, there are LQs here and there. How a couple together would patch that up through seeing each other or the usual ways of patching up. But how do you do it in a long-distance relationship? I'm going to put the guys on the spot here. Gian.
For me, I think most of the time, for men, I think pride gets in the way. So you really just have to let go of that. Because she's more important than your pride for me. That's the way you have to look at it.
Okay. And Paul?
Yeah.
Well, for us, I think Mitch and I benefit from the fact that we're both very honest with each other, and we don't like to have arguments that linger on.
Yeah.
So I make it a point that if we have any kind of misunderstanding, we have to solve it like right then and there, like before I'll even hang up. Like sometimes we'll have a misunderstanding or something, and it's already 12 o'clock midnight, but I'm not going to get off the phone even if it reaches till 5 o'clock in the morning until we resolve whatever it is our misunderstandings about, because I just don't want to let it go. I mean, you don't have the benefit of having the person actually be there that you can talk to them in the morning. So the fact that they're far away, it gives both of you an opportunity to actually think about it when you're by yourselves. And if you let that argument kind of settle in, then it has a chance to kind of take on a life of its own. Before you know it, it kind of gets out of control. So we try to resolve our issues while they're still small, instead of letting it, go overnight or stretch on for days. And I think having that open communication definitely helps when it comes to resolving issues, because if you guys can't talk to each other or can't communicate on the same level, then you're not going to be able to get by when you have misunderstandings.
I think that's a great point about not letting arguments, number one, linger, and number two, fester in your mind and eat at you before you start thinking, it becomes an argument in your head and has a life of its own.
Yep.
Okay. We're going to go to questions. What are your plans for Valentine's Day? Is it in time for the new moon, Lara? Is Valentine's Day in time for the new moon?
Well, I don't know, but
when is the new moon?
Actually, I'm not I don't go to the Chinese calendar and look, but I just get surprised with it's new moon.
You should get an application for that.
I know what I expect. But on Valentine's Day, the good thing about being apart is that you have two Valentine's Day.
Okay.
Yeah.
So because it's not yet Valentine's Day, it's already Valentine's Day here. So problem is I have a performance that day.
Oh right, yeah.
But you have to make time. So after that performance, of course, we're gonna share a meal together. That's what we do sometimes.
That's interesting because your work will require you to work on Valentine's Day, right? For a performance or a show. And does it also help that Gian, you have an extra couple of hours because we're ahead?
Yeah. Yes, that really helps. And that's why he just celebrated his birthday, February 4, and he had two birthdays. So it was great.
Okay.
I mean, like I could
Birthdays.
make up for it right away. I mean, but I still greet him like 12 midnight here, and I'll greet him again 12 midnight there. So I mean, you could work on it. You could work around it.
That's very cool.
Yeah.
That's very cool. And offline also we were discussing about how you guys are on Skype, Gian and Lara, and you're just watching her practice her singing, and you're watching him sometimes practice his cello.
Most of the time, him practicing.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Most of the time you practicing the cello. Virtual together.
Virtual togetherness.
Yeah.
Okay, Paul and Mitch, what are your
Sometimes when
plans?
I'm just
Sorry,
walking
yeah.
around that campus, she's there. She's just there. While walking around the campus, she's just,
Not walking
just there.
around. He's in the classroom. I could hear his professor. That's funny.
So is this also through a couple?
Through Skype.
Through Skype. Okay, through Skype. So we have lots of apps to download. There's Couple, there's Tango. Well, we already know about Viber and Skype and all of that. Okay. Paul and Mitch, what are your plans for Valentine's Day?
Paul, you tell.
Not
Not
well, we're
planned.
both, we'll probably have a wine date over Skype because we do that every now and then, where we'll both buy a bottle of wine and then, share dinner and, just catch up on everything, and so it's like we're having a wine and dine dinner, but
What is a
apart
wine date?
over Skype.
Well, how do you do a wine date over Skype? That sounds really interesting.
Well, we just both buy a bottle of wine and we'll be drinking.
Okay, and you guys will be in front of the
Yeah.
computer.
Yeah,
Lounging on the couch, just
yeah.
almost feel like he's there.
Another version of virtual togetherness.
Yeah, same thing. We'll also share meals every now and then. So.
And it's almost like you're, it is almost like.
Yeah.
It's just different that they're eating breakfast and we're eating dinner. It's like that.
Yeah.
Right.
Different.
Yeah. And same thing. Sometimes we'll be walking around or doing our own thing, and I'll call her and get on Skype just to show her what I'm doing.
Like last week I was trail running.
Yeah.
And then he got me on Skype and I was like, I felt like I was with him jogging.
And you're still enjoying the two of you are still enjoying the great outdoors.
Yeah.
Albeit in
Yeah.
different places. That's great.
Thank goodness for 3G.
I know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And technology, 3G
Yeah.
technology, and all that stuff, keeping you together. From Valentine's Day, let's go to the future. What are your plans for the future?
On Valentine's Day or just
For
for
the
the
future.
future?
For the future.
Well, I can't wait for GM to come home. And that's the first thing I'm really looking forward to.
And that will be what year?
He'll
2
be
years, no?
visiting this May.
Okay.
He'll be going back there. And then next year, plans, we plan to make music together.
Oh.
That's
So,
Oh.
Oh.
You're a songwriter, Laura. Have a song for Gian?
yes, I have.
Okay.
And he requires a cello solo for that song. But in the future, we plan to hopefully make an album of the cello version of my songs. So
Okay. All right. Mitch?
Plans for the future. Well, in the near future, I'm going to meet up with him in Japan, hopefully in March. So he's going to travel there for work. So I'm going to go over there, and probably one weekend we're going to go somewhere outdoors so that we can spend, that's the thing, we got the same passion. So
Yeah.
we really appreciate it, especially if we're together. It's just special. And then for the
I'm not letting you guys off the hook. What are your plans for the future?
We're getting married.
All right.
Well, we're working on it. I'm gonna file a petition. I'm gonna file a petition to get her over to the U.S. so we can be together and get married soon. So, I mean, yeah, we've only known each other for not too long of a time, but we've talked every day for hours and hours, and I think we've just gotten to know each other as if we've known each other for years. And since we're apart and I'm in the U.S. and she's in the Philippines, really we didn't feel like there was any other alternative. Like, how are we going to be together? And I don't see the purpose of just beating around the bush and, hanging out and being just boyfriend girlfriend. I'm just gonna move forward with it and do what I want to do with it. So I asked her if she wanted to get married, and yes, so she said yes, and that's what we're planning to do, and hopefully enjoy the outdoors more, travel to a lot of off the beaten path places, climb a few mountains here and there, and enjoy life.
From making music to climbing mountains. I like this setup of both. And what are your plans for the future?
Well, of course, I can't wait to have more dates with her. And of course, I also travel with her. And of course, I don't want to spoil the surprise.
Stop right there.
We're getting on social media, and I hope this isn't going to ruin any surprises, but we have a question from AJ Toyona. Can Lara Maige sing for Gian, please?
Oh my gosh. Sure. Okay, I wrote this song when I finished writing this song the day he left for the States.
Oh.
So that was really emotional for me. It was really hard to record it because I was crying. So I had to re-record it. So it's entitled, it's Tagalog, it's OPM ballad, Ikaw na siya. Meaning, you're the one. And so it goes like this. Oh, who's that? Ang pag-ibig mo ay di mahawik sa iba. Ikinuhit ng tadhana, maging tayong dalawa. Natatanging sa'yo lang lilikaya. Baka nga ikaw na siya.
Yay! That was wonderful. Tagalog is so beautiful.
Yeah, it is.
It's such an emotive language,
And
when
Especially when sung.
Yeah, if it's a song, I mean, I express myself more through Tagalog songs. So.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Gian, was that the first time you've heard that song, or you've heard it before?
I've heard it before.
I sent it to him the day he left, so he got there.
I always listen to it when I'm on the bus, in the bus.
Okay, I thought you were gonna say it was your ringtone. I'm just kidding. Okay, I'm just kidding. Another question from Ivo Aguinaldo. How do you avoid flings and third parties?
Well, not have third parties and not have flings. That's it.
Mhm.
Yeah, well, like it's out of the question.
Sorry, could you say that again, please?
It's out of the question.
Yeah. I mean, like you.
Yeah, if you're gonna do it, then why are you in a relationship?
Nothing will stop you actually from doing it.
Yeah.
Even if you are together in the same country.
Yeah.
And don't give your partner a reason to be jealous of anything.
Yeah.
I mean, like especially when you're apart. That apart. So, no.
So your answer is to make a conscious decision to avoid the opportunity or the temptation for flings or third parties. One relationship coach shared with us, and I'd like to share it with you guys and the viewers out there. The decision to stay together is made up of everyday decisions you make.
Yeah.
So take it. I guess you guys are taking it one day at a time as well. Question from Amy Grace. How do you envision it working out? Lara?
Envision it working out. I think in the future, like especially when we're together, and we've already faced this challenge of being apart for so many months.
How many months has it been?
It's been 7 months.
Okay.
I think. So I think nothing is impossible in the future. and I just think that when we're together, it would be just way, way, way better and easier, and it would just work out, and especially when you're gonna have a family. I mean,
Yeah. It is temporary, right? Long distance relationship. It's not like you're gonna be in a long distance relationship forever.
The distance is
You should
temporary,
have,
yes.
yeah, exactly. You should have plans in the future to look forward to. Otherwise, it's kind of open ended that okay, are we just gonna carry on in a long distance relationship and not be together? So you ask yourselves that, and you. Not that you're gonna put like a cutoff, say, okay, we're gonna be only in a long distance relationship for 2 years, but you gotta build that plan for the future together as a couple. Otherwise, if you don't have anything to look forward to, then it's kind of difficult to make it work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like the natural progression
Yeah.
of
Yeah.
any relationship.
Yeah.
Ian, how do you envision it working out? Is a question from one of our viewers.
Well, for me, it's very easy because with the things we do, we're both musicians, and it will really work out with what I do because I play the cello and she sings, and we have many opportunities together. And of course, yeah, you have to have a goal. Hello?
Okay.
Yeah, you have to have a goal for the relationship. Otherwise, you don't know where you're at, like what's going to happen. Just one misunderstanding, and if you don't have plans, then it could ruin it.
Stages of relationships.
Yeah.
Paul?
Like everybody's, yeah. Same question?
I think that was like the trump of it. That's your trump card right there.
Yeah, I mean, everybody's already mentioned. Say again?
Are you coming over to the Philippines soon, or you're going to Japan?
Going to Japan.
That's the one that's
Yeah, we're going to meet in Japan. Yes.
All right. We're going to wrap up in a bit, and before doing that, I'm going to do one last question for all of you. What are your words of wisdom for other couples who are in long-distance relationships? Gian?
Just stay honest and just love her or love him with everything you have. Yeah, just.
Thank you, Gian. And Paul?
Same thing. You have to stay honest, and you have to talk. Always make time to communicate with your loved one, and let them know how you feel. Always reaffirm your feelings for them, and yeah, it's all about communication because you don't have that physical presence. You have to make use of every resource you have to keep in contact with them, and let them know how you feel about them.
Okay, download couple after this.
You will.
Mitch, what are your words of wisdom for couples in long-distance relationships?
I guess the same as what they mentioned, open and honest communication. But other than that, you should always stay positive. You can't really get your doubts, get into you, because if you have a lot of doubts that would cloud your mind, it's kind of hard to be open and honest as well with that person because, well, it kind of works two-way in that, say, if you've got doubts in your mind, you really have to tell that person that, hey, I'm having a hard time. You really just have to be open with that person. If there's something that's clouding your head, then you got to tell that person. Else, it's gonna linger on, and as you say, it's gonna take a life of its own, and just it's gonna destroy the relationship. So.
Okay. And Lara?
Well, nothing is impossible as long as both of you want it, and as long as both of you really decide that this will work, then it will work. And be creative. I mean, like, plan your dates, like, or make something really interesting for you both, like eating together and having wine dates, or having like a cake together, but be creative, and it will work. It will be fun. It'll still be fun. It's just like he's just here with you.
I actually learned a lot from the four of you today, and one of the things that you can apply even to things other than relationships, but one thing was how you all managed to turn the quote-unquote negative sides or the downsides of being in a long-distance relationship into a positive thing. Paul, you were saying you have to absolutely talk things out because you don't have the benefit of being together or waking up next to that person or looking forward. You have a set time when you're going to see that person again. So you don't let, the good thing is, you don't let small arguments become big ones.
Yes.
Okay. Lara and Gian, you were talking about how you discovered all these apps that make being together a virtual, you have a virtual presence and you're together every day still. You find a way to do it. I think that was a resounding thing from the four of you that I learned today. Relationships, whether you're far apart, whether you're together, require effort.
Yes.
Okay, it requires creativity. Talk about having a wine day. I love that idea. I should do it. Let me find someone on Couple and a thumb kiss, yeah? And send someone a thumb kiss. I have to remember that somebody has to be on the other end to receive that. But it requires creativity, it requires effort, and I love quoting that relationship coach Eileen Santos, who said that the path to happy ever after or growing old together is made up of the decisions that you make every single day. The commitment that you renew every single day. Thank you so much, Paul, Mitch, Gian, and Lara, for showing us ways to renew that commitment far apart every day. Okay? And for joining us and sharing your stories in this hangout. Thank you to everyone else for joining us. This is Anna Santos signing off for Rappler. Thank you.